Hello everybody. In this video, we are going to see about data abstraction in object-oriented programming in Java that is achieved through abstract classes and interfaces that we are going to see now in this video. Data abstraction is the nothing but it is hiding the necessary implementation details. Okay, only the essential features will be visible to the user. Okay, by hiding the internal working of a system, it will be hidden, and only what all the methods available. Okay, that alone, what are the through the methods you can implement. By calling that methods, you can define a different implementation according to the object. It will be called according to the different users. The implementation differs. Okay, that we are going to see now. First, abstract classes we will see. So abstract class is nothing but it consists of abstract methods. Any class which have the abstract methods, it must be declared as abstract class. So class, before the class, if you put abstract keyword, it becomes the abstract class. So abstract class, it has its abstract method which does not contain any implementation part. Okay, only the method header will be there. There is a void break. After defining the header, declaring that you will be ending with semicolon. No implementation part, no body will be there in the abstract method. To use the abstract, you cannot instantiate the abstract class also. Normal class means you can instantiate that class and you can create the object, but abstract class cannot be directly instantiated, but through the subclass of it, you can instantiate and use the methods available under the abstract class. Okay. So if any subclass which extends the abstract class, definitely it must override the abstract method. That is, it should provide the implementation for the abstract method which is available under abstract class. Okay, the subclass will be providing the implementation part. It must override the abstract method which is available under the parent class, that is the abstract class. So if you see here, motorbike is the abstract class. Before the class keyword, you will be using the keyword called abstract. So this is the abstract class which has the two methods. One is the start engine with its normal concrete method. Method which is concrete means it does have the implementation part. So here if you see, it is having one statement, system.out.println engine started. But another method is there, break, which is declared as abstract. So this is called the abstract method, which does not have any implementation. No body is there. If you see, no open and ending braces, just you have ended that method with semicolon. Only the signature, that is header part of the method will be defined. Okay, so this motorbike is the abstract class which can have its own concrete methods. Apart from that, it must have one abstract method also. So I told you abstract class cannot be instantiated directly, but it can have its own subclass. So in inheritance, if you kindly watch my previous video about inheritance, what do you mean by inheritance means a class can extend another class and it can use the features available under parent class. Apart from that, the subclass can have its own features also. So if you see here, I have two subclasses, sports bike and mountain bike. Here the sports bike which extends this abstract class motorbike. So the sports bike is the subclass. So it must definitely implement the abstract method. That's the rule. If any subclass which extends the abstract class, definitely it must override. So that is, it must have the implementation part for the abstract method available under the parent abstract class. So I have provided the implementation for that system.println hydraulic disc brakes. So if you see this subclass mountain bike, it also has overridden the abstract method which is available under the parent abstract class void brake. So it has its system.println mechanical V brakes. If you are not overriding, compiler will throw error. Okay, you must override the abstract method if you are inheriting a abstract class. Okay. So if you see here, this abstract class is graphic object. It has its own fields, X, Y, and color, and it has the abstract methods called draw. So circle and rectangle are two subclasses of this graphic object. So the draw, it depends upon, a circle means you have to use the 360-degree arc angle necessary. For a rectangle, you can draw using the four straight corners. The implementation differs. Okay, that you must override in the subclass. So interfaces or it acts as the abstract class means only closely related one it integrates, but interfaces means even though different classes, if you see interface payment is there means, so employee is one class which implements interface payment, another class invoice or product which implements interface means payment differs. Employee payment implementation can have the salary calculation, and invoice which implements this um, payment interface means it can have its different implementation for payment like product payment like that. Okay, so it can have unrelated objects which can implement the abstract methods which available under the interface have the different implementation parts. Okay, so if you see how to declare interface means interface keyword must be there, and afterwards a name for the interface. Just like you are declaring class name, you have to declare interface using the keyword interface and then interface name. After that, you have here, if you see, int max speed equal to 100, void turn left. You have one field, but even though if you are not providing any access specifiers, it will be implicitly defined as public static final, because interface cannot have instance variables. It cannot have instance fields. So it can have the public static final. That is so common for all the classes which implements this interface. And you cannot, final means you cannot modify this field also. And all the methods inside the interface, if you are not declaring with any access specifiers means it is implicitly, it is a public abstract only. That is, you cannot define body for that, but interface can have its own default methods. That is, it's default, by using the default keyword, you can define the implementation part for that default methods. It is allowed after Java 8, but in general, Java interface can have the methods, any method you are declaring without any keywords or access specifiers means it is implicitly public abstract only. Any field you are declaring inside the interface, it is implicitly public static final only. Okay. And it cannot have its own constructors also, because interface you cannot instantiate, but you can implement this interface. Multiple interfaces can be implemented by one class. Okay, that is allowed. So if you see here, multiple inheritance is not possible. In the inheritance video itself, I have explained a class A extends, after the extends keyword, you must provide only one class. But you can implement the interface using the keyword called implements. After implements keyword, you can provide multiple interfaces also. It is allowed in Java. So through this concept, we are achieving multiple inheritance concept in Java through the interfaces. If you see here, so class D, parent, class B and class C, it's not allowed. Okay, but here the robotic car class can implement navigable interface, transformable interface, and flyable interface. Three interfaces can be implemented for one class. Classic robotic car implements navigable, flyable, transferable, comma, you can put, and after the implements keyword, you can have several interfaces, but after the extends keyword, you can have only one class. Okay, only parent class must be one. Okay, that is the rule in Java. So if you see here, before Java 8, only abstract methods are allowed in interfaces. But after from the Java 8 version, it can have its default methods. That is, any method with the default keyword means that is a class, not the keyword. Like it's a class. You can define that it's different from a default modifier. Okay. Don't confuse with default modifier. You must specify if any interface method, if you need to provide implementation part means you must declare that method as default. Okay, default void method one. Like that, you can provide the implementation part for that. And static methods also allowed. What is a static method? Through the interface name, you can invoke. Okay. And after the Java 9 version, it can have interface, can have the private methods also, but that private method you can call inside the any default methods. Okay. That is allowed. So this is the major difference between abstract class and interface that has been provided here. So what all the variables and states so the abstract class can have means it can have non-final and non-static instance variables also. But in interface, it is the field must be public static final. Only it is allowed. And coming to inheritance, a class can extend only one abstract class. After the extends keyword, only one you can provide any class. But here in interface, after the implements keyword, any number of interfaces you can provide. Constructors, abstract class of course can have instructors, but directly you cannot instantiate abstract class. But through the subclass, you can invoke the subclass constructor. Under the subclass constructor, you can provide super keyword. So it will normally call the abstract class constructor. Through the subclass constructor, you can invoke abstract class constructor because directly we cannot instantiate abstract class. Okay. Here interface, it cannot have constructors because it cannot be strictly instantiated. Access modifiers, abstract class can use public, protected, private for its concrete methods. That is, one does have implementation part. But here in interface, all the abstract methods are public only. And it is a relationship for abstract class and it is the can do relationship. I show you an example for the interface. If you see here, polygon is one interface, okay, and it has the abstract method called get area. Even though if I didn't declare any didn't put any keywords like public, abstract like that, but it is what? It is abstract method only, okay? So you must override that, okay? So whichever class is implementing this polygon definitely should provide implementation part. It must override this get area and provide the implementation part. Why it is abstract method? So no body has been provided. So this is the default method. So if you are providing before the method signature default keyword means the implementation part you can provide. If you are not providing this default keyword, it raises the error because abstract method cannot have body. So definitely if you want to provide implementation part for some methods under the interface means definitely you must declare it as default. Okay. So here in the interface polygon, you have two methods, one abstract method get area and another method gets sites. So if you see here, I have a class called rect, which implements the interface polygon. How can you implement? Using the implements keyword, you can provide the interface name. Okay. So what I told you, if you are implementing that interface, definitely you must override the abstract method, which has been defined inside the polygon. This get area under the direct class which implements the polygon, I am providing the implementation part. Area of the rectangle is length dot breadth. Even though if you see here this length and breadth and all, what? It is available under through the, you are providing through the arguments. Okay. Through the arguments, I am initializing and I am multiplying that and just I am printing it. Okay. Here get sides. This is the default method. I am just overriding. Here also you have one get sides. Here also I am overriding the same method but different implementation. Here it says I have 4 sides. Here it says I can have many sites. Okay. So even though if you are not overriding this method, no problem. But definitely you must override this abstract method get area, whatever class which implements this polygon. This you must override. It's a rule. This you may override or you may not override it. Okay. So another class I have square which implements the interface polygon. Here I have overridden the abstract method get area. So here also I am providing this length. Okay. So I am closing this. If you see here, I did not override this get sides in square. Only in rectangle I have overridden both the methods, but in square only have overridden the abstract method. It's a must, otherwise the compiler will tell error. So it has only this get area. So in the main method interface example, under the public static void main, if you see here, through the interface reference, okay, I am invoking the subclass object. So it references this rect. Now, even though it is a reference for interface, it references the rect object. This is called dynamic method dispatch concept in Java. Through the superclass reference, you can point to the subclass object. Okay. So here now it acts as the object for rect. So get area means and get sites means whatever these two implementations which has been under this rect, it will be called. So rect area, so this method will be called, and get sites, this method will be called. So if you see here, the area of the rectangle is 30 and I have 4 sides. Okay. So even though polygon has get sides method, it will not call this one. I can have many sides, it will not call, because rect have its own get sides. Through the object, rect object you are calling means the method available under that subclass, okay, that rect alone will be called. And if you see here, next I am polygon square. Here also this is interface reference, but it calls new square. So this square object will be pointing to this, okay, this interface reference. Now if I call get area, if you remember, this square has only get area, okay. Through the square object, if you are calling get sites means what it will call? The get sites which is available under polygon, it will call this one. Is clear? So because which implements polygon means what are all the methods available under that it can access. So if you see here, the square get area 5 comma 5, here it calls the method available under square, okay, and get sides, sq dot get sides means even though this square does not have the implementation, but its a polygon interface has, so it invokes this method. So it prints I have 4 sides, okay. So if you see the output, the area of the square is 25, 5 star 5 is 25, and I can have many sides. This is the method which are available under the polygon, okay. So I hope you have understood about the abstract class concept and interface concept, and have demonstrated the example also. Hope you have understood the concept. Thanks for watching.